Above the largest canyon in the Pacific Ocean, specially shaped for the pressure, is a state-of-the-art laboratory. Accessible only by the most advanced and expensive submarines, the group of industrialists who built it have just arrived for a presentation from their quantum physics expert. After failed formulas and dozens of dead test subjects, Mira Carre believes she's figured out teleportation. She explains to the investors that the water pressure will absorb any disturbances her machine might cause, how they'll be able to move goods across the world instantly, cutting transportation costs. As the observation window reveals a black sea staring back at them, her assistants at their computers turn on spotlights outside and shine them on a giant captured squid. In 10 seconds, it'll be teleported to the other end of the Marianas Trench, 1,500 miles away. The countdown begins as a flashing probe points directly at the caged animal. Terrified of the lights, it tries desperately to escape its prison. With 2 seconds left, it breaks the bars when a beam of light fires at it. As tentacles quickly wrap around the device, Mira screams for them to turn it off, but it's too late, and a bright flash turns into a black hole, sucking the lab and the squid inside before spitting them out the other end of the trench, quickly sinking together, scraping the canyon of rock and sand. Flashing lights and alarms ring out all around the destruction. Pressure crushes the walls as the frightened squid scratches its giant beak on the glass. The water is up to her knees as Mira hurries to an escape hatch, and the ocean breaks through the window as she shuts the hatch door behind her and leaves everyone else to drown. Rushing down the ladder, she slips and tumbles to the level below, then scrambles her way to an emergency single-person submarine. Quickly launching out into the darkness, the whole lab crumbles behind her. The engine and propellers work hard to get her out of the trench before the machine explodes, and she's almost gone when a new wormhole opens from the explosion. The gravity drags her back, and the engine breaks down trying to fight it when she's pulled inside by the gravity and spit out again. As the sub sinks, Mira activates the emergency flotation system, and it quickly rises until reaching the surface. She's so happy. She survived. But for days, she drifts around at sea and doesn't see any land. Her navigation says she's in Guam, but she doesn't see any signs of civilization anywhere. And then one morning, while eating bits of emergency rations, she notices a dark city skyline in the distance. By sunset, the current takes her closer, and she finds these strange buildings are made of coral, coming right out of the ocean. there is no land. Floating by, she reaches out and touches one. She doesn't know what built them, but by nightfall, she's sure they're not man-made. When she sees glowing yellow lights circling her in the black water. Mira hurries back inside and closes the hatch, while just on the other side of the viewing glass, lanterns made of gray flesh are dangling in front of rows of mangled fangs, while cold black fish eyes follow her every move. The deep-sea predators eagerly scratch at the pod with their webbed claws, trying to get inside. When a giant tentacle pulls her away and up to a massive eye, a gargantuan squid examines the screaming creature inside the metal marble, while the curious offspring swim around. They've never seen anything like it before, but in some of the shallow parts of the world, there are ruins of lost, forgotten cities. And this thing, it looks like some of the bones they find. Probably the last of its species, the alpha squid takes pity on the strange animal and wants to save it. So with its powerful body, it pulls the submarine at neck-breaking speed as Mira hangs on tight until they finally reach land. And he leaves her on a tropical beach. Peeking her head outside, she finds the warm sun shining on a wild, thick jungle. And when she checks the navigation screen to see where the Kraken brought her exactly, she sinks back in her chair, stunned, because it says she's in Antarctica. She gets out and walks down the shore, stumbling into human skeletons everywhere. Picking up an old and rusted gun in one of the hands, Mira stares at it, then falls to the sand, realizing that the wormhole didn't send her across the trench. It sent her across time. You see, it was thousands of years ago that her machine exploded in the Marianas Trench, making it bigger, cracking deeper into the crust of the planet, finding another ocean, and combining the waters to flood the world. What was left of humanity killed itself fighting for the land that remained.